My beloved child, you are not here by accident. I have drawn you close, even in this very second, into a moment designed to break through the tension, the deep tiredness, and the secret burdens you have been carrying alone. I see the pressure swirling inside you, the quiet desperation you hide from the world, and the places where you have pleaded for a sign of relief, wondering if any answer would ever cut through the noise. I want you to know, with absolute certainty, that I am here with you, fully invested in your rescue. I am not a distant hope or a far-off idea, but your constant, breathing help. This moment is meant for you. Do not turn away, or you might miss the gentle deliverance you have longed for, the comfort I am offering right now, and the new clarity awaiting you in my embrace. Every challenge you face, every obstacle that looks like a wall on your path, I am the one who lifts you up. I help you journey out of every cage that surrounds your spirit. Nothing is too great for me to handle. No problem you face is beyond the reach of my hand. I want you to feel the weight on your own shoulders right now. Notice the ache that forms when problems pile up and fear tries to lodge itself in your mind. Now, hear my promise. I am guiding you through every storm and sustaining you, step by fragile step. There is no valley you cross where I am not walking right beside you. There is no decision you make that I have not already considered with loving wisdom. I want you to let your heart admit the fatigue. If your soul is weary, trust that you can finally rest in my presence. Imagine for a moment lying back and allowing your burdens to slip off your spine as morning light quietly falls into your room. In this place, I willingly remove what is too heavy for you and replace your exhaustion with the strength of my love. You do not have to allow sorrow or fear to chain your spirit any longer. In every battle, in each shadow that falls across your home or your future, my voice is a stronghold. Speak with faith. Remind your circumstances, your doubts, and your enemies that the God over you is powerful and has not left you alone. When accusations or hardship press hard against your family, your heart, or your dreams, you can speak with certainty. My God stands with me, greater than any threat. Let this truth move from your lips. Let it anchor you amidst every surge of anxiety. When you speak my words in faith, I defend you. I wrap you in compassion. I rush to you as a mighty protector. You are never, ever overlooked. I will not be distant to your cry. I draw near, setting my hand upon your trembling frame, filling your heart with a warmth you may have thought impossible to ever feel again. Tell me even now, as you take a slow breath, that you believe these words. Where you sit or stand, with the world pressing in or the morning just waking around you, dare to confess that you are my beloved and I am present. Whisper it aloud if you can. There is something holy about your own faith rising up. Something healing happens as you accept this moment. The Lord is my shepherd, I lack nothing. Taste those words on your tongue. Every time you repeat them, your spirit is strengthened and the broken places are gently mended. Stay with me here. Not out of duty, but because your soul is thirsty for reassurance. You have set so many goals, carried so much responsibility, but one purpose matters above all: listening daily to my voice. As each day unfolds, I want to lead you toward places of true peace, feeding you with sustenance that doesn't deplete, filling you with sweetness from beyond this world. A tenderness that satisfies the deepest longing in you. Can you feel the gentle current of my love reaching out? Stay here and let it fill you. Let it feel as if I am reaching down, taking your hand, and guiding you softly toward a life where kindness is the power that flows through your words and actions. I care about your journey, every detail, every wrestle of your heart. Even now, as you listen, allow yourself to sense my affection washing over you. This love is not imagination. It is not wishful thinking or the product of hope alone. My affection is real, steady, and unaffected by the shifting shadows or the mistakes you regret. When you breathe in, let courage return like gentle air filling your lungs. Allow gratitude to rise for the comfort my words bring, not as a command, but as an invitation to experience my nearness. I am delighted in your desire to know me, to trust me, to keep stepping forward, even on days when your energy feels low and the world seems cold. I do not ask you to move backward or to give up the ground you have gained. The only time I want you to slow your pace is when you come close to me, to come close to your family, to rest and allow my strength to meet you in your dreams and in your hours of quiet. You have not lost my attention, nor can you forfeit my care. Through every season, when you stumble, when you surge ahead, I remain. My commitment to you does not evaporate in frustration or disappear with your failures. My love does not wear out or thin with the passing of time. You are protected not because you are infallible, but because my love is invincible. Accept this reality. Nothing you could do would make me withdraw my affection. Even when the world withdraws its warmth, when people you trust turn away, I am the one embracing you always. I want you to rest in the certainty that every mistake can be healed. Every delay can be redeemed by my purpose. When life knocks you down, I am there offering my hand, not to blame you, but to help you rise. I see every tear, every hope, and every fear, and I reply with my unwavering devotion. If you could see yourself through my eyes, you would know how deeply valued and cherished you are. So as you walk into the day or lay your head down at night, remember this: I am holding you. I am eager for every prayer you whisper, every longing you surrender, every moment you choose trust over despair. This is not the end. There are new mercies being prepared for you. Wonders are just ahead, and a love that will not fail you. I am right here beside you, closer than your own breath, attentive to every detail of your heart's wrestling. I see the questions you hold just beneath your calm surface. Questions about your worth, your place, your future. You wonder if there's more to your waiting than frustration. You wonder if I have truly noticed what you carry, the weight around your heart that no one else seems to understand. Even as the world moves at its usual pace, as routines unfold around you, I am not distant. My attention hovers over you with the intimacy of dawn light pressing gently against closed eyes, softening fear as the morning softly fills the room. This moment is not a mistake. It holds significance. For I have drawn you here with gentle hands to a threshold you could never reach by striving alone. Within the gentle quiet of your space right now, whether you are pressed into a favorite chair, resting with hands folded across your chest, or simply caught for a heartbeat in the hush between responsibilities, I ask you to notice my presence. The ordinary things, the pattern of sunlight across the table, the familiar sound of your own breathing, are not empty backdrops. They are reminders of my steady nearness. I see your attempts at gratitude, the intentional way you whisper thanks for small mercies, even on days when gratitude feels like an act of extreme courage. Each of these moments plants a seed that rises within you, making you more resilient than you realize. There is nothing hidden from me. not the sigh that escapes as you move through a quiet morning, not the thoughts stirring as worries threaten to overrun your peace. Bring them all to me. You are not a burden, and your ache is not a surprise. I know the shape of your longing, the desire that your life would bloom and matter in ways you barely dare to pray for. Even your fears, the subtle hesitation in your chest as you step into new days, have a home in my heart. Allow yourself, even now, to rest under my gaze, where striving falls away and you are simply loved. It is natural to worry that hope can betray you, to look at past chapters and wonder if you missed the single moment that could have changed everything. Hear me clearly. Your journey does not depend on luck or flawless timing. My love is not fragile, nor subject to random chance. You are not late, and nothing you have done or left undone can cancel my purpose in you. The yearning to start fresh is itself a sign that I am at work, cultivating readiness within you. As surely as night gives way to morning, I am shaping new beginnings out of the pieces you thought were lost. I delight in your courage even when you doubt it exists. Every time you rise and try again, every time you choose kindness or honesty instead of retreating, heaven draws near in celebration. I am not counting your mistakes. I am counting the number of times you let me carry what was too much for your own arms. My mercy rushes in wherever disappointment or shame tries to take root. You belong at my side, not as a guest who must earn a seat, but as family forever cherished. Let me remind you, dear one, that you are not required to have all the answers today. Your calling is not a puzzle you must solve alone. When confusion overtakes you or the road ahead seems obscured, close your eyes for a moment and notice your own heartbeat. This steady rhythm is my gift, the evidence that you are held and sustained. I promise to supply clarity as you need it. Never too soon, never too late, always aligned with the next step I have designed for your good. At times, surrender can feel like giving up, but in reality, it is a sacred exchange. When you lay down your anxieties and entrust them to me, you are not forfeiting hope. You are inviting me into your uncertainty. Imagine for just a moment what it would be like to release every burden of expectation, every silent fear, into my hands. Picture the gentle light of early morning filling your room as your heart opens, receiving my peace that settles deeper than words. This is what I long to give you every day. A shelter from the storm. A place where you can exhale without judgment. I want you to know that your story is not an accident. Every ordinary morning, every late night when you wonder if I hear your whispers, adds to a narrative that I am fully invested in. Your family, your relationships, your work, the paths you are called to walk, none of these slip past my watchful care. Even the tensions, the moments when loving others stretches you to your limit, are opportunities for me to strengthen you from within. My kindness will never run dry. My faithfulness is the sunrise that returns, no matter how dark the night before. If shadows of anxiety try to convince you that you are alone, listen for my voice in the silence. I am speaking hope over you now, a hope that does not depend on circumstances. Each breath you take is a testimony that there is more for you. More warmth, more wisdom, more belonging. Release the pressure to perform or meet every standard. My delight in you is free and unrestrained. Nothing can separate you from my love. No mistake or misstep can revoke your place at my table. In the quiet flow of this very moment, take a deeper breath and let my reassurance anchor you. You do not have to achieve your way into my affection. I am offering you a new identity, one rooted in my relentless care and the destiny I have always imagined for you. Your journey is unique. It is marked by my fingerprints in ways you will understand only as you keep walking forward with me. The promise is not that the path will always be clear, but that you will never walk it alone. Do not rush to conclusions. Stay here a little longer and discover how I make even ordinary days radiant with purpose. You may often look around and wonder if anyone else notices the swirl of thoughts you're carrying. The old doubts that resurface when things feel uncertain. I see you as clearly here as when the world is just waking up outside your window, the first pale light slipping in and touching your face. There is no mask you must wear with me. Bring your real longings, the ache beneath your practiced strength. Let yourself relax into the hush that settles as you surrender your striving, if even for a breath. I am not waiting for perfection or the disappearance of all fear before drawing near. I know how it feels to face another morning. Your feet find the floor. Your hands reach for the comforts of routine. But behind your movements is that subtle question. Will today be different? Will I finally see evidence that you are moving in my story? Lord, there is no shame in asking me these things. I invite you to bring the question openly, to let it linger in the quiet places where you have tried to silence it. When you dare to sit with the question, it becomes a doorway, not a curse. It is here in the brave honesty of your longing that my presence becomes unmistakably real, like sunlight gently warming your upturned face. Even if hope feels fragile, I am using every moment to reshape your heart. Not because you are behind or somehow lacking, but because you are loved enough to be strengthened, not merely comforted. What feels like waiting or delay, I see as a sacred invitation into something deeper. The unforced rhythms of peace that come only when you let go of measuring your value by progress or outcomes. Imagine releasing the grip on an outcome just for this morning. Allow gratitude to fill the empty spaces left behind by anxiety. Let yourself be surprised by the gentle hush of my reassurance that I am not scolding you for your impatience. Rather, I am teaching you to delight in me for who I am. When weariness fills your chest and you wonder if your best efforts matter at all, breathe with me for a moment. Hear your own heartbeat. Feel the sturdiness of my peace beneath your uncertainty. See your life again with my eyes. The ordinary acts of love, the whispered prayers, the unseen sacrifices for your family, all are precious to me. You are not invisible. Every act of goodness planted, even in the dark, is growing in ways you cannot yet see. My timing is never slow or careless. It is perfectly attuned to the healing and flourishing of your soul. Do not let the world's hurried standards dictate what this day must contain. I did not call you to exhaustion or to constant self-comparison. You have permission to savor small moments, to notice the taste of breakfast, the laughter echoing down a hallway, the way the morning light plays across familiar walls. These are signs, just as surely as open doors, that my kindness is moving toward you. My favor rests on you, not because of what you produce, but because I have called you mine. When you feel the joy drain out of your routine, look for me in the quiet details. I inhabit the spaces between your breaths and in the glances exchanged over breakfast tables. You may find yourself replaying old regrets, haunted by memories of chances missed or words spoken in frustration. Even those I can redeem. I am not holding your failures over you. I am holding you still, inviting you to release shame as gently as exhaling stale air. When my love is the air you breathe, relief and hope re-enter your story. If you let it, surrender opens a new horizon each day. A chance for you to trust that I am still writing a beautiful story with your life. I do not measure you by the wounds you hide or the scars you carry. I see the whole of you radiant with possibility, anchored in the worth I placed upon you from the start. You do not need to manufacture a sense of purpose today. Instead, watch for the quiet nudge of my spirit, a sudden sense of peace, a memory of encouragement, the impulse to reach out with kindness even when it feels small. These are the signposts of my presence guiding you. Your calling is not lost or delayed. It is made clearer through each gentle act of reliance on me. Step by step, I am forming in you the kind of courage that is patient, the hope that endures beyond immediate answers. Let yourself be still enough to hear, to notice, to say yes in the simple ways that are before you right now. When anxiety whispers that you will never break through, remember that my faithfulness is not fickle. I have carried you through hidden storms you thought would overwhelm you, and I remain your constant shelter. The identity you have in me cannot be stolen by disappointment or failure. If you feel exposed or uncertain, turn your heart again toward the truth of who you are to me. Beloved, chosen, always seen. Let these words settle deep and renew your resolve. If frustration arises because prayers are not answered as quickly as you desire, do not imagine I am far away or unmoved. I am present in the space between your cry and my unfolding response. In every delay is my intent to strengthen and align your soul with my peace. What I have promised I will cultivate in you at the perfect time, often beginning with peace, then clarity, and then the alignment of doors opening just when you are most anchored in me. Hold steady, little one. I am working in the quiet, not just in the moments of visibility. Whatever this day holds, whether challenge or calm, ambiguity or breakthrough, know that I am with you. My hand steadies yours. My spirit draws near in every breath, in the fleeting silence, in the hope you dare to carry. The life you are living now, precious and unique, is the very place where my presence longs to dwell in fullness. You do not journey alone. Every unseen moment matters to me, for I am the one who treasures you more than you can comprehend. You have lingered at the door, feeling its heaviness and wondering if you are truly invited to enter deeper. Hear me. Every part of your heart is welcome here. I have never turned away from your trembling, never flinched at your questions, and I draw closer with every shadow you dare reveal to me. There is no wound you possess that disqualifies you from my nearness. I am not scanning you for flaws, nor waiting for perfection. My gaze is set on you with relentless compassion. Even right now, I see the hesitation inside, a part that wonders if the cost of full surrender is loss instead of gain. But what if what you call surrender is actually rescue? Think, child, could letting go actually restore what you've tried to save by holding so tightly? There is more waiting for you behind the walls you've built to survive, and I am ready to gently dismantle them, brick by brick, not to leave you vulnerable, but to prove how powerfully I can shield and fulfill you in this exact moment. Pause. Notice the air moving into your lungs, steady and quiet. That is me, life itself, sustaining you, offering you rest you have not known in far too long. Place your hand over your heart and sense the rhythm I have placed within you before you ever uttered my name. This pulse is my signature. Every beat is a declaration that you are chosen, destined not for mere survival, but for transformation. I am shifting your atmosphere even as these words saturate your mind and spirit. Let yourself be held. I want you to feel it. Not just imagine or hope for it, but breathe in my presence so tangibly that fear has nowhere left to cling. Breathe. You are found. There are moments when you have questioned if I really want all of you, especially the warfare, the scars, the questions you stash away in hidden chambers. Hear me. The battles you faced, every silent night, every aching hour, are seeds planted in fertile soil. Nothing is wasted. Even your confusion is a place of encounter. You are being prepared, strengthened, made resilient in ways not yet visible. And yes, I know you feel the fatigue settling into your bones some days. I know the questions rise up uninvited as you lie awake. Will this breakthrough ever come? Will the heaviness ever lift? My answer is a gentle, fierce yes. The breakthrough is moving even as you breathe, though its form may surprise you. The moment you stop striving to force results and instead open to my way, you'll sense the tide turning. Right now, you might wonder if anyone else could really understand what you carry. Beloved, you are not alone in your wrestle. Countless hearts have stood in this liminal space, some giving up hope, others finding me in the place where hope should have drowned. There is a movement awakening, a current of possibility that pulls you from resignation to expectation. You are not an outlier. You are a pioneer among the awakened. There are connections forming even now because of your yes, a ripple beyond this moment. Lives entwined because you chose not to shut down your heart's cry. That electricity you feel under your skin is my spirit stirring, preparing you for a momentum shift. I know the lie that whispers, "You're too broken, too inconsistent." I remember the day that lie gained a foothold, the moment disappointment stung deepest and silence felt final. But listen, my declaration over you is stronger than any whisper in the darkness. I call you whole, claimed, destined for beauty that rises from the ashes of disappointment. My love is not a fragile promise. It is an unbreakable covering, a force that changes what it touches. Say this with me, even if your voice shakes, I am not condemned to my yesterdays. Speak that aloud. Feel your chest opening even as hope inches in. Sometimes you fear that if you let go of control, everything will fall apart. If you drop your guard, all you built will crumble. But beloved, what is built on striving will never satisfy you as deeply as what is formed in surrender. I see the trembling resolve within you, the careful plans you've crafted to stay safe. I honor your survival, but now I invite you to release. Let me carry what has been too heavy for too long. My invitation isn't to rest in passivity, but to trust in my active presence moving on your behalf. Even in the valley of uncertainty, my footsteps are beside yours. The ground may tremble, but you are not at risk of being lost. Do you feel the subtle security rising in you as you acknowledge this truth? That is me, anchoring your soul when circumstances threaten to pull you under. There is a shift coming, and soon you will discover that what once terrified you will serve as proof of my faithfulness. Sometimes you will sense my presence as a whisper, other days as an overpowering wave. Both are real. Both are love. Beloved, close your eyes if you can and notice the tension draining out of your jaw, your shoulders, your hands. This is not fantasy. I am calming you now. Evidence that my words are living, not distant or theoretical. The warmth you feel is not merely emotion. It is the nearness of the one who made you for communion. Let that peace grow. I am already answering your longing. Even if it seems small, recognize it for what it is. the kingdom arriving silently but surely within you. You wonder if letting me close means forfeiting your dreams. You ask if what I want will erase what you care about. Know this, little one. My purpose for you is not theft, but flourishing. I do cut away what poisons you, but only so what is precious may thrive. I honor your desires more than you know. I remember every secret hope, every buried prayer. In time, you will see how the risks you take in trusting me return as radiant newness, surprising you with joy where once there was only endurance. You will know it is me, because suddenly what used to drain you becomes effortless, as if a burden has shifted from your back to my hands. Your questions do not offend me. Your doubts are not a barrier. They are doorways for fresh revelation. Ask, wrestle, bring your mess and your marvel, and let me sort them with you. At times my answer will be silence, not because I am withholding, but because I am inviting you into trust. I have not forgotten a single promise made over you. Not one detail lost in the shuffle of days. The fulfillment will arrive differently than you expect, but always perfectly timed. Your only task is to remain open, to let my presence in where you once bolted the door. There is a reason your spirit stirs in this very hour. I am drawing you closer, removing obstacles you thought were permanent. The ache you feel, both longing and anxiety, is evidence that I am moving. Breathe deeply and sense my ownership over your journey. I have come not just to reassure, but to revive, to spark a resilience in you that will carry you through the season to come. Watch. In the days unfolding, doors you stopped praying over will begin to shift. You will recognize my hand not merely by what changes around you, but by the transformation within. That is the mark of my presence. You become more fully yourself, unburdened and alive, even before circumstances yield. Stay with me now. There is something I am about to reveal, something layered beneath your pain, an invitation your heart has been waiting for. I have seen you searching for signs, quiet glances skyward, heart pounding as you wait for confirmation that I have not forgotten what I promised. You question whether you have discerned my will, straining to hear the faint echo of my voice when confusion thickens in your mind. But I tell you truly, every longing within you is precious to me, and I count each one like a gardener counts seeds before planting. Let your heart rest from striving for clarity, for my guidance is not a puzzle. It is an inheritance for those who are willing to trust me in the silence as well as the shout. Even now, as you listen, I am arranging circumstances to clarify what you could not perceive a season ago. There is a subtle awakening spilling over into the corners of your ordinary life. A hope that tugs gently, refusing to be suppressed by fear of disappointment. That hope is my doing. The urge to look again at old dreams, to touch desires you buried, is a stirring of my spirit within you. Don't silence those questions bubbling up in the quiet moments, for I am inviting you to participate in a dialogue. As you breathe in, feel my nearness. As you exhale, release the anxiety you have carried, and know that even unanswered prayers shape you for purposes greater than your understanding. The process itself is precious, not wasted. You have not been passed over, forgotten, or sidelined while others advance. My timetable is not bound to the ticking of a clock, but is tied to the deep preparation of your soul. If you could see what I am building within you, you would rejoice instead of questioning your pace. I have appointed breakthroughs precisely timed for your restoration, but more importantly, for the unveiling of your truest self. There are victories ahead that will not look like the world expects, because I am not after your applause, but your transformation. Pause for a moment. Let your hands settle over your chest. Notice the life pulsing under your touch. That is my own breath sustaining you. I am not an absent or theoretical God. My involvement fills the very air around you. Stillness is not a punishment, but an invitation to sense my presence, not only in the highs, but in the space between answers. Do you feel me now? Steady and close. Let the assurance of my companionship slow your racing thoughts. You ask why some pains linger and why freedom sometimes feels just beyond your grasp. I have heard your most honest cries, the ones you barely whisper, and I have gathered every tear. There is meaning in the uncomfortable waiting, and every unresolved ache is being charted into a future testimony. The healing I bring does not always arrive as you expect. Sometimes it is layered, gentle, a gradual shedding of former lies you adopted out of necessity or self-defense. I am patient with you. There is no shame in still being in process. Your progress is not measured by comparison, but by the softening of your heart toward me. Sometimes the enemy tries to exploit your vulnerability, whispering that maybe you are not spiritual enough, not brave enough, not worthy of more. I see the shadows that linger at the edges of your thoughts. Here and now, I expose every lie. You are already chosen, already grafted into grace, already marked for something unbreakable. Say this out loud if you dare. I am wanted by God. Let those words cut through resistance and root deep in the soil of your spirit. For my voice is the final authority over your destiny. You are never the sum of your failures, nor are you defined by the broken places others could not love. Watch how your heart shifts when you allow my truth to crowd out stale doubts. Even today, glimpses of my goodness will interrupt your routine. A stranger's encouragement, an idea sparking in the quiet of the morning, peace descending without warning when you least expect it. You will know it is me because it will bring relief, not confusion. Courage, not fear. This is how I mark my presence in your unfolding story. Through textures of mercy that catch you off guard, through a sudden capacity to hope again, even when nothing visible has changed yet. Do not squeeze tightly to the old maps. I am doing a new thing, drawing you into relationship deeper than formulas or familiar patterns can sustain. You are meant for more than mere survival. I am retraining your mind to recognize my movements in the absence of guarantees, to rejoice when all you have is my word. That, beloved, is faith, not sight, but surrender to a love that cannot let you go. Breathe. Return to this moment as often as you need. What if the quiet in your soul is not emptiness, but readiness? If you are tempted to give up, to lock away your heart and resign yourself to disappointment, stop. This is the very threshold where most turn back. But I am calling you forward. Don't allow discouragement to have the final say. Your past has not disqualified you. It has equipped you as a carrier of hope for those who will walk similar valleys. My breakthrough often comes disguised at first, sometimes as a fresh perspective, a nudge to forgive, or an unexplainable boldness that wasn't there before. Trust the subtle shifts as much as the dramatic ones. Gather gratitude for every glimmer, and you will see how it multiplies the evidence of my working. Soon you will realize that what you thought you needed most, a specific answer or outcome, was always secondary to the treasure I am placing inside you. Resilience birthed out of dependence, joy that is independent of circumstance, and confidence that no storm can steal. You are learning to carry my presence into every setting. Do you sense it? Right here, without striving, you are being strengthened for what's coming. I have always known what you would walk through, and I have already prepared the provision, the companions, and the inner strength to not just survive, but to shine. You are part of something bigger than you see. A movement of the awakened, those who refuse to remain numb or cynical. Many have stood where you stand now, hearing the gentle invitation to rise and embrace the next step. Even when the landscape is unfamiliar, you are not isolated in your struggle. With every yes you give me, you join the family of the brave, the healed, and the becoming. My spirit weaves your story together with others, not accidentally, but by design. There's joy ahead that will eclipse the heaviness you have carried. I am not done surprising you with my goodness. Carry that awareness forward. There is more for you, more than your mind can calculate, and this is just the unfolding. So do not shrink back. I am delighted in how your courage grows. Even when you feel fear dancing at the edges, soon you will look back and see how my faithfulness filled every gap. You are being led forward into the extraordinary, piece by sacred piece. There are moments when your heart cannot quite make sense of the path before you. You can feel the faint tremor inside you, a tug between surrender and the urge to control everything around you. In the quiet, you sometimes whisper, "Am I really seen?" Let me draw near and remind you. Even when doubt brushes against your mind, my gaze is fixed on you. I know the secret ache you do not share. The world may speed by, but I do not hurry past you. Hear that again. My pace with you is never rushed, never behind. I am present in your hesitation as well as in your bravest step forward. You look into the faces of those you love, hoping to offer more than words, a calm presence, a steady anchor. Sometimes all you have left to give is your silence. Yet in that stillness, my voice often finds you. Imagine me sitting with you at a quiet table as night settles on your home. The simplest meal before you, the weight of the day easing just a little as you remember that you do not journey alone. Your longing to protect your family is precious to me. Release them one by one into my care. We are building something together, a legacy shaped by trust, not by flawless plans. You may worry that your gratitude sounds repetitive, like a child repeating the same prayer. But every time you thank me, you open space for more awareness of my presence. As morning spills light through your window, let your heart rehearse gratefulness, not from obligation, but from the deep knowing that I delight in your voice. Each expression of gratitude changes the atmosphere within you, turning fear into expectancy, demand into surrender. The past cannot suffocate the present if you remain awake to what I am doing now, right here. There are mornings when heaviness clings to you before you even stand from your bed. In those moments, the easiest thing may be to turn inward and shrink from hope. But I am inviting you instead to unfold your hands, to breathe in my gentleness. Lay your burdens before me, not as a transaction, but as a surrender to relationship. When you do this, the air shifts. Type yes if you are ready for the blessings that you are about to receive. And if you believe in Christianity, kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks, from $50 to $100. The things you tried to force start loosening their grip. Anxiety loses strength when faced with my peace, which settles deeper than circumstances or the chase of what's next. Beloved, do not measure my faithfulness by how quickly your requests are met. Your story is not stalled or overlooked. In the world's impatient rhythms, You may be tempted to count time by the waiting, by what you wish would hurry into your life. I do not keep time the way you do. My patience is not neglect. In waiting, I am forming clarity, building resilience, anchoring your soul to truth. Delay is not denial. The very longing that causes ache is where I plant new vision. You are not disqualified nor forgotten. You are being made ready. Remember the quiet courage it takes to sit still and listen to your heart, especially when you fear what you might find here. Honesty with me is your safest territory. Let your questions rise without shame. I am not threatened by your uncertainties. When you name your anxieties, whispering your worries about your future, your family, your purpose, you hand them over for me to reshape. Your willingness to expose your wounds allows my healing to reach deeper. I am not waiting for your perfection, only your permission to move within you. Let your vision stretch beyond survival into the goodness I have prepared. As you walk through ordinary routines, pouring coffee in the quiet wake of dawn, greeting your reflection in the mirror, finding the rhythm of your own breath, trust that I am as near as your next heartbeat. You do not have to perform to merit my nearness. With each sunrise, I provide new mercies, not based on yesterday's scorecard, but on the permanent love I offer freely. Rest in my constancy. Let this be your anchor when everything else seems unreliable. When your mind circles back to what if, to fear that opportunity has slipped by or that blessing has passed you, return to this. I am the keeper of your times. Nothing ordained for you is lost in the noise or discarded with your mistakes. Each day as you take the risk to hope again, you participate in the renewal I am bringing to your life. You belong, not because you have mastered every skill or conquered every fear, but because I chose you first. Your destiny is not fragile. I am holding it secure in my hands. Every act of trust, no matter how small, is seen by me. When you forgive, even when bitterness would feel easier, you align yourself with my purposes. When you let go of what you cannot control, your future, your children, your reputation, you practice the kind of faith that moves mountains. Do not neglect the power of surrender in your everyday choices. In unseen places, I am at work, redeeming delays, planting hope, multiplying your courage for what lies ahead. As the day unfolds and you encounter moments of frustration or longing, bring them to me openly. Speak to me as you walk through your rooms, as you travel familiar streets, as you shoulder responsibilities that sometimes feel too great. I am never out of reach, never deaf to your cry. Allow my presence to saturate the ordinary, transforming worry into expectancy, restlessness into peace. You are never truly alone. I am the one drawing you forward, restoring your strength with each quiet act of faith. What you see as delay, I see as construction, steady, purposeful, never wasted. In the silent corridors of your heart, I have been laying foundations firmer than stone. You ask if you are missing your moment, if opportunities are slipping by unnoticed. But I tell you, I am not bound by chance or the ticking of the clock. I form your readiness in secret places, teaching you to receive what is truly yours, not out of urgency, but out of the wisdom that I plant deep within you. Your every unseen longing is held not as a forgotten dream, but as a seed growing roots below the surface, where my light still reaches, where my care is always at work. There is beauty in what you cannot control, for it draws you closer to me. Can you feel the gentle way I guide you to rest your striving? When the world demands your answers, your plans, your reasons, I am the quiet voice whispering, "Let go, let me shape the outcome." This surrender is not an abandonment, but an invitation to walk with me step by step. As you open your clenched hands, your spirit becomes lighter. Notice in this very moment how your breath calms, how your shoulders ease when you remember you are carried by arms far stronger than your own. I see every reason you have to worry. The future can appear as a shadow filled with unspoken threats and echoing fears. Sometimes you lie awake in early hours rehearsing concerns, mapping out remedies that never seem enough. My beloved, your heart is safe here. The shifting uncertainties do not disturb me. I remain unshaken, and my gaze never leaves you. Even as plans change, as doors seem to close, I would have you trust in the ground that does not shift. My unwavering intention to keep and guide you, even when clarity seems distant. You may feel tired from holding together more than anyone truly knows. Behind your gentle smile or busy motions, you carry burdens meant to be shared. I see you at the kitchen table, the light glinting over your morning mug, feeling the ache of unanswered prayers. In those private moments, the quiet car rides, the stillness before dawn, I draw near. Your sigh does not go unnoticed. In your weakest place, I pour out new strength. My compassion is a well that does not run dry, a fountain waiting to refresh worn-out souls who admit their need for me. Your gratitude, simple and honest, opens you to receive me anew. Have you noticed how even a whispered thank you, offered through mixed faith and uncertainty, becomes a doorway? When you look at your family, your friends, or simply press your hand against your heart with a silent appreciation, I respond with my presence. Together, we create a new rhythm, a melody of trust, even in the unresolved chapters. In your deepest identity, you are not defined by what has yet to happen, nor by the open or closed doors in front of you. Your destiny is not a narrow window that can close forever. With me, new beginnings are possible at every turn. When frustration simmers and you wonder if your prayers fall into empty space, I want you to rest in the truth that my timing is an expression of my love, not my absence. Trust that my wisdom writes your story with both patience and passion, weaving even unforeseen pauses into masterpieces of grace. Let your heart settle into this assurance. You are exactly where you need to be to encounter me in a new way. Breathe in this present reality. Feel the air filling your lungs, the pulse of life in your hands. Invite me into your mind's whirl of questions. Even if understanding eludes you, my nearness remains unmoved. Each day I refresh your call, refining your vision and equipping you for what you cannot yet imagine. You are my beloved, and none of your waiting is wasted under my watchful care. I have watched you press forward, sometimes dragging your hope like a wounded limb, unsure if anything in you could ever be mended. Today, hear the urgency within my spirit as I lean close. You are not meant to settle for survival when resurrection has always been your inheritance. That ache in your bones that refuses to be silenced is evidence of the new creation stirring inside you. I have called you out of what used to define you, setting your feet on solid ground so you would grasp that you were never only meant to endure. Breathe this in. You are being prepared for more than you imagined. Every delay, every unanswered prayer, every season you thought I had forgotten was in fact the shaping ground for the authority you now carry. You are being shifted from carrying wounds to becoming a restorer, one who brings healing to the hurting and light into places that have only known shadows. The pain that threatened to silence you is exactly the place where my voice now speaks with the greatest volume. Even now, I am wrapping you in a mantle of significance. Not because you accomplished enough, not because you finally got it right, but because my desire for you is rooted in who you are to me. My beloved, my chosen, my vessel of glory on the earth. Right here, as your breath moves in and out, and you notice the steadiness beneath the storm, let yourself sense my hand resting gently over your heart. That warmth is the sign of my nearness, my approval, my promise that you do not walk into the future alone. I am with you, and my presence is your security. When the enemy tries to whisper again that you are overlooked, remember how every hair on your head is known to me. Feel the truth rise within your chest. You are marked by my favor, covered by my peace, shielded by my love. You might wonder how you can step into new purpose when your strength feels depleted, when the voices of the past keep clamoring for attention. Listen, dear one, I am not asking for perfection before partnering with you. I am asking for your yes. The smallest ember of willingness is enough for me to breathe new life into destiny long buried. If fear knocks, acknowledge it. If regret tugs at your memory, do not run. Welcome those feelings and then place them in my hands. I can shoulder every shadow, every doubt, every hesitation. My power shines brightest not in the absence of weakness, but in its honest surrender. This day is not a repetition of what has come before. There is an undercurrent of change that even now is shifting atmospheres around you. Doors you assumed were denied are already being unlocked, not by your effort, but by obedience to my gentle promptings. Soon you will look back and realize that what you called waiting was actually deep preparation for accelerated release. Let this anticipation grip you. Not a frantic striving, but a holy expectation that something is moving in the unseen. I have not left you behind. I will not start now. Your identity is no longer chained to failures or false labels. Read that again. Who you are is defined by my declaration over you, not by what has happened to you. The redemptive work I am doing within you will spill out into every sphere you touch. Your voice will ignite the courage of others. Your story, once a source of shame, will become a beacon for those desperate for the hope you now carry. Watch as I use what tried to destroy you as a foundation beneath your feet. My promise remains: beauty for ashes, joy for mourning, strength for the days you thought you could not rise again. Feel the stillness wrapping around you now. Pause and let my presence anchor your emotions. You do not have to manufacture bravery or force yourself into healing. I am doing a new thing within the landscape of your soul, changing the story from loss to legacy. Speak aloud. I am not who I was. I am loved. I am chosen. I am rising. Let your own ears hear this truth, for repetition births belief. Every time doubt returns, counter it with the reality of who you are becoming in my hands. A gentle warning stirs within me for you. Do not minimize what you survived. Your scars are not liabilities. They are the markings of one who was never abandoned. Others will recognize the signature of my faithfulness on your life. You are being commissioned, not someday but now, into a new level of influence that is not about platform but about presence. You carry heaven with you into the mundane moments. The shift you sense within is confirmation that a greater authority is being entrusted to you. Steward this with humility and gratitude. Thousands have journeyed similar paths, but what I am birthing through you is uniquely marked by your story. Do not look to the left or right for validation. Do not compare your process to another's outcome. I am writing a narrative with your life that could not be accomplished through any other vessel. The hunger you feel for more of me is a signpost. Follow it where it leads. I promise those who chase after me with undivided hearts will not be disappointed. Do you sense your posture changing? Where resignation once reigned, there is new hope swelling. Where you braced for disappointment, there is boldness growing, soft but unstoppable. Lean into these stirrings. Boldness does not mean absence of fear. It means moving forward despite it, because my spirit goes before you. The dreams you tucked away, the prayers you considered too small or too audacious, bring them back out into the light. I delight in awakening things you thought were lost. There is something I must whisper now. This week, expect a surprising convergence. An old friendship will reach out with timely encouragement, or you will find yourself in a conversation that delivers precisely the reassurance you needed. You'll know it's me by the peace that floods the moment. My sign that you are on course, that nothing is wasted. Even mundane routines can become holy ground when you recognize my presence, woven through them. Right now, place your hand over your heart and breathe in deeply. Let your pulse remind you that you are alive with divine purpose, anchored in a love that cannot be shaken. When anxiety presses against your mind, recall these words. I am your shelter, your steady hand, your unwavering guide. You do not have to chart your journey alone. Yield the outcomes to me. Commit your heart to the process. If you sense tears rising, do not push them away. Let them fall as testimony that old burdens are releasing their grip. You are not less holy because you feel or because you wrestle. In fact, it is here in authentic vulnerability that you encounter me most fully. My strength is being perfected in your acknowledged weakness. Rise and walk forward. My power will sustain you. And as you step, know this. The greatest chapters of your story have yet to be written. You have seen how I have shepherded your moments of confusion and led you through unfamiliar places. Now I want you to realize that I have been closer than even your own thoughts. Every detail of your journey matters to me. Not one tear in the quiet hours escapes my notice. And when you have struggled to find words for your longing or your fatigue, I have understood the unspoken prayers within you. In the spaces between your questions, I am shaping new clarity and renewing your passion for the path I set before you. The gentle stirring in your spirit, that realization that you can trust me even when the ground seems uncertain, is my own assurance resting on you. I do not simply watch from a distance. I am your refuge in the moments when anxiety wants to tighten its grip, and I am your quiet strength as you yield each fear to me. Let the air around you carry a fresh sense of relief right now. You can almost feel the tension unwinding in your chest when you remember that your future is not something you must fight for alone. Type yes if you are ready for the blessings that you are about to receive. And if you believe in Christianity, kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. I have carried you into places of growth you could not have planned and into relationships that have expanded your understanding of my goodness. Even when you wished for immediate answers, my timing has brought forth strength you did not know you carried. There is purpose in the rhythm of my unfolding. What you perceive as delay, I am using as preparation, healing what was bruised, and rebuilding confidence where disappointment had tried to cut you down. Let your breath slow, and let gratitude fill the quiet. I am making all things new, even where the evidence feels slow to materialize. This surrender you have practiced is not a sign of weakness. It is the posture of my children who choose trust over self-protection. When you laid down what weighed on you, when you admitted your longing and your limits, you allowed me to meet you with a kindness you did not think you deserved. My favor rests upon the surrendered, and my wisdom flourishes in those whose hands are open. I know how tired your striving had become, and how much you wanted rest for your mind, your family, your hopes. That desire for shelter is not selfishness. It is the true cry of a heart that wants me at the center. When you come to me with your unfinished hopes and messy questions, you bring me greatest joy. Now, as you listen and settle deeper into my presence, pay attention to the tangible ways I cradle you. The room is filled with the peace only I provide, steady like the morning sun as it seeps through your window, soft against your skin. There is a quiet invitation here to unclench your fists, to allow my nearness to fill the spaces you have guarded. Even your doubts, persistent as they sometimes are, cannot shut me out. I come to you as your fortress and your counselor, ready to breathe courage into old wounds and awaken vision in what looked like lost ground. Listen for my whisper, even as your own thoughts swirl. Let my truth anchor you anew. You might still wonder how any of this could create real change for you. Maybe you have believed before and felt disappointed, or you fear the risk of hoping anew. I know these shadows, and I do not dismiss them. Instead, I sit with you while you sort through what you are ready to let go and what you still grasp for comfort. I hold both your confidence and your reluctance with equal care. The breakthroughs I bring are rarely as you imagine them, but my timing carries the hidden treasures of readiness, alignment, and sustainable joy. Linger here, allowing my promises to reshape your perspective. You do not have to pretend to be untroubled for me to work wonders in you. Present yourself as you are, and I will meet you faithfully. Drink in the sweetness of this moment, a gentle quietness that hovers even above your racing thoughts. Look around. The mundane surrounding you is sacred when you invite me into it. That table you gather around, the street you walk, the pillow pressed to your cheek at night, I fill these with my mercy. I am present as you stretch out your hands for direction and as you settle into ordinary routines that secretly shape your soul. Be alert for my nudges. The smallest action taken with faith echoes farther than you realize. A kind word spoken to your family, a silent prayer at the end of your strength, a seed of gratitude blooming where frustration once grew. These are the quiet beginnings of legacy. Let your anticipation find its root not in outcomes, but in my character. Your longings for more peace, more clarity, more belonging, are heard by me and honored at the right season. I am never late to your need and never careless with your desires. Waiting in my presence is not passive, but the groundwork of transformation. Every moment you choose connection over despair deepens your foundations. I want you to know that your destiny is secure, not because you have mapped it perfectly, but because I am the one who shapes it with love and attention. Reaching for me in worship, even if through the simple act of gratitude, shifts the atmosphere of your home, your mind, your days. You draw near and I answer with my gentle power, unsettling lies that have kept you small. Each time you remember you belong to me, another wall of accusation crumbles. I have not called you to earn your place, but to rest in it, letting my acceptance become your stronghold. When uncertainty about the future creeps in, Let it become the invitation to bury your roots even deeper in my faithfulness. What matters most is not the speed of your progress, but your willingness to return again and again to the reality of my unfailing commitment. Do not underestimate what I am accomplishing in you, even as you wait for visible signs. My work is hidden before it is seen, steady beneath the surface. Lift your eyes from the urgency of outcomes and rest in the assurance that I am already at work within you, around you, preparing what only I can bring about. Each step in trust builds resilience. Each surrender becomes a channel for fresh hope. Hold space with me for the surprise of joy, for the newness that does not announce itself with fanfare, but settles softly, unmistakably into your story. You have felt my pursuit even when you tried to hide behind skepticism or weariness. Every moment of wrestling, doubting, aching, these were not wasted steps, but signposts on the winding path that led you to this holy intersection. I have watched you lurch between hope and disappointment, longing for breakthrough, yet bracing for more silence. Even now, I am working within you, preparing the soil of your spirit for new life you haven't dared to imagine. Breathe, beloved. As you inhale, allow my peace to soak through your entire being. That warmth that flickers in your chest is me drawing near, confirming, I am not an idea or an echo. I am here, alive, attentive to your every need. This very instant I am weaving restoration where you felt only ruins. You believed your story was too entangled for beauty to emerge. But look again. Your scars are the entry points of my light. The ache in your heart has become a doorway for my comfort to rush in like a rising tide, flooding all the barren places with hope unrelenting. You haven't missed your moment, for I am the redeemer of lost chapters. Regret has no dominion over you. My mercy outruns yesterday's failures and today's exhaustion. When shame tries to speak, silence its voice with this truth. You are already forgiven, cherished, and held in everlasting arms. I know you worry about tomorrow, whether you are enough, whether joy will last, whether you'll ever feel whole for more than a flicker. Release those questions, for I hold the answers. Not one tear has gone unnoticed. Not one silent prayer slipped past my hearing. Right now, as you let these words settle, feel my reassurance blanket your spirit. You are seen in your entirety. You are not invisible nor insignificant, but chosen for such a time as this. Even when you see only weakness, I see the seeds of greatness that I have planted in hidden seasons. My strength is made perfect exactly where you feel weakest. So take a breath. Anchor yourself in my nearness. You wonder if you might fail or fall away, but my grip on you is stronger than your grasp on me. The world will spin. Storms may surge and doubts may flood, but I do not let go. You are shielded. You are covered. You are surrounded with favor like a shield that cannot be pierced. With every step into the unknown, my voice will guide you forward. You are not alone. Pause here. Press your hand to your chest and let yourself feel how alive you are, how loved you are. I know the world has felt indifferent to you lately, cold and unfeeling, but I am not indifferent. I have caught every tear you have shed in the quiet of your room. I have watched you through every restless night when sleep refused to come. And I have heard the desperate questions you shouted in the silence of your heart. There have been moments recently where you doubted that anyone, even me, could truly understand the depth of the suffering you are carrying. But be assured, I know your feelings intimately. I am acquainted with your sorrow, and I do not ignore your cries. When your mind swirls with accusations of inadequacy, or when the enemy whispers that you are a failure, do not pull away from me in shame. I am not here to chastise you or list your mistakes. I am here to nurture you, to steady your trembling soul and tell you that you are doing better than you think. For too long, you have stood in fields where your hope felt trampled by circumstances. You have listened to the empty words of people who no longer believe in miracles, people who see only threats and impossibilities. But you, my child, are set apart. Nothing and no one holds the power to control your destiny. Not the lies of others, not the curses of the past, and not the bitterness of those who do not understand you. Your life remains cradled firmly in my hands. Do not surrender this truth, even when voices of criticism echo around you. Breathe now. Take a deep breath and remember each act of courage you have shown. Remember every reluctant step forward you took when you wanted to give up. Remember each honest prayer you whispered when you were too tired to speak. None of it slipped past my heart. It all matters. I am preparing marvelous things for you, and even as you struggle to believe that, do not imagine your efforts are unnoticed. Like the first rays of sun that filter through your window each morning, my favor is finding you right now, illuminating what was once shrouded in darkness. Let gratitude slip through your spirit in these early hours. Recall this word as you move about your day, letting it lift you from the weariness that has settled in your bones. Hold on to it as a living memory of joy. I am not seeking reasons to ignore your needs. I am the Father who answers sincerely. Your pain is neither invisible nor insignificant to me. I know how the circumstances of life have worn you down, burrowing doubts into your mind and exhausting your tears. But today I come not only to comfort you, but to awaken the powerful sense of my love within you. I am brushing the dust from your spirit. Rest in my promise. My affection remains unchanged regardless of your successes or your struggles. You may find yourself surrounded by discouragements, by people who have let fears and lies take root, convincing themselves that nothing good awaits them. But see, you belong to me in a different way. You do not have to succumb to that darkness. My hand is upon you, guiding you steadily into a future filled with blessing, purpose, and restoration. The dreams you thought had faded, the plans you almost abandoned because they seemed too hard, I am able to revive them. Lift your chin. Refuse to shrink beneath the burdens of yesterday. When you dedicate the first moments of the day to listening for my voice, or when you pause during your work just to remember you are held, you are drawing near to the wellspring of life. Even if your faith feels small today, my invitation is the same. Stand up in quiet courage. Faith is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to keep moving, to keep trusting, even in the uncertainty. The dawn is not far off. Open the doorway of your heart and do not allow anxiety to overrun your mind. The enemy of your soul would tempt you to postpone hope, to forget what matters most. But I tell you now, do not delay what could set you free today. Today is the ground upon which your future is built. The seeds of this hour, sown in trust and gratitude, will produce wonders beyond what you can imagine. If your eyes are swollen from crying, let your tears water the faith that something sacred is sprouting, even in your unseen places. Fix your gaze on the blessings already given. Consider the people who care for you, the times you have been lifted from danger, the peace that returned when you thought all was lost. Were it not for my shelter, for the hand that quietly intervened, the story might have been otherwise. I have shielded you in ways you did not always recognize. Every unseen battle I have fought for you. Every night I kept watch while you slept. I am delighted by your endurance, your willingness to reach for me, even when you feel weak. There have been moments when you thought the obstacles would break you, yet here you are, still breathing, still reaching, still listening. Let hope stretch out in your soul again. I invite you to taste my faithfulness anew, and trust that what I have promised I will accomplish in you. Stay with me, beloved. There are wonders coming that will outshine all your worries. Relax your shoulders, draw a deep breath, and acknowledge there is more life ahead of you than regret behind you. I am closer than your next heartbeat, ready to guide your steps. Anchor your mind and steady your heart. The world may tremble and storms may rage, but my nearness is your unshakable shelter. Keep listening, for as this word unfolds, more of my love will be revealed to you. You may find yourself looking around wondering how to steady a quivering heart while everything feels uncertain. Know that I am closer than your own breath, more dependable than the chair beneath you. As warmth settles along your shoulders and the air grows gentle in the quiet place where you sit, let yourself imagine my hand resting there. Steady, unwavering, an anchor in the shift. You are seen, deeply known, not passed over or forgotten. My presence lingers not just in grand announcements, but in each small detail. The light glancing through your window. The simple comfort of inhaling deeply and letting gratitude brush your insides. These are gifts from me. Every part of your journey catches my attention. When anxiety rises, when worries feel like noisy guests that refuse to leave. Do not scold yourself for growing weary. Instead, offer me that very ache, the longing to understand, the pressure to hold everything together, the weight that gathers behind your eyes. As you yield those burdens, see how I am not shocked by your need for reassurance. My voice calms storms not with volume, but with an unshakable love that settles into the empty spaces. Even your restless questions invite me closer. For in the asking, you tell me you trust that I am there. Perhaps you have heard that you must prove something before I draw near. Let me clear away that lie. My affection for you cannot be earned, nor is it withdrawn when your hands falter. Sit quietly now, noticing the support of the chair, the gentle pulse of your heart, reminding you that life is a gift renewed with every beat. Give me the doubts that trouble you, concerns about the future, regrets about the past. Meet my compassion in this moment. I am not limited by your uncertainty or the missteps that try to define you. Type yes if you are ready for the blessings that you are about to receive. And if you believe in Christianity, kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. Let go, even if only for the next breath, and sense my nearness wash over the questions. Even in the busiest seasons, when family or responsibility demands more than seems possible, I see you struggle to balance hope and obligation. I am with you in that tension. The lists unfinished, the words left unsaid. The atmosphere around you carries my assurance, whether you wake before the sun or finally rest your head after a long night. You are not required to get everything right before inviting me into your circumstances. My presence does not shy away from your mess. I am at home in both your victories and your honest, fragile places. There are moments when the world presses in, whispering that your courage is running out, that your gentle heart will be trampled or overlooked. In those moments, pause, draw breath, feeling how life moves through your body. That in itself is a miracle. Proof of my watchfulness, my delight in you carrying forward. When you feel unqualified or misplaced, remember your identity is anchored not in performance, but in my unchanging love. I am the one who shapes your destiny and calls you to stand even when your knees tremble. Your longing for direction is not a flaw, it is the mark of a heart alive to possibility. I see the glance toward closed doors and the quiet disappointments. Let me remind you that timing is not a barrier to my care. You need not manufacture opportunities or twist yourself into knots of striving. Place your desires and uncertainties in my hands. Hands that have shaped mountains and count the hairs upon your head. Even the smallest act of surrender is a seed, yielding the peace your heart aches to find. Today, as tiny rays of sunlight move across your floor, or you listen to the slow quiet of morning or evening, let gratitude find you right where you are. Whisper a simple thank you and let it ripple outward. Thank you for breath, for memories of kindness, for glimmers of hope that appear unbidden. Each expression of gratitude forms a new beginning. I take delight in these moments more than you know. They ground you in truth and steady your soul. My presence is the undercurrent that keeps you afloat, no matter how stormy the surface might seem. If fears gather at the edge of your mind, fear that you are falling behind, that nothing will change, that I am silent, offer me those worries. I do not scold or turn away from your anxiety. Instead, I gather you in with gentle authority, speaking courage to the very places where hope feels thin. My guidance is not a distant echo. Feel it close, as certain as the air filling your lungs. Rest here for a moment in trust, letting my care become the anchor that steadies you. This is how you begin to walk with me, not by fixing yourself first, but by allowing my presence to fill the space where you stand now. Even as you navigate pain, laughter, uncertainty, or wonder, I remain by your side. Listen to the quiet invitation beneath your thoughts, reminding you that everything significant unfolds in the context of my steadfast love. When you do not know what to say, trust that even simple honesty spoken to me is enough. I hear you louder than any doubt or distraction. My commitment never wavers. I celebrate your smallest bravery and cradle every sorrow. As you step into whatever lies ahead, you do not go alone. My voice continues, persistent as daybreak, reminding you that you belong, that you are chosen, that my hand remains steady over your life. Every challenge becomes an opportunity to discover deeper trust. Let gratitude, surrender, and stillness be your quiet companions as you journey with me. Each breath is an invitation, each moment a chance to let my strong, gentle love carry you. There is a hidden beauty even in the hours you have called ordinary. I see you in the simple space, where light spills across the floor, and you hold your breath for just a second before the day gains its usual speed. That quiet hesitation is a language, a signal to me that you are not only surviving, you are hoping. I love the way you reach for more, even when your voice is trembling. Every sigh, every inward glance, even the flicker of hope that seems too delicate to last, is precious to me. I am right here in these in-between moments, waiting for you to lean just a little deeper into my care. When you notice your hand resting over your chest, or you catch sight of your own reflection as morning breaks, remember that my gaze is gentle and never accusing. You matter more than the running lists or yesterday's spilled intentions. I want you to know that your being, separate from every achievement or shortcoming, is wanted. Silence may tempt you to label yourself unfinished or unseen. But I am whispering a better truth over you. Let the quiet in the room settle around you. Let it remind you that I am patient in love and relentless in mercy. My thoughts about you are more sincere than any that rise against you. The world often assigns value by how much you can do, produce, fix, or explain. I do not. My heart runs deeper, inviting you to shake off the exhaustion and just for a breath, believe in your belonging here with me. Anxiety has a way of tightening its grip, pressing you to brace for disappointment or feel like you must earn rest. This is not from me. I am offering you rest as a gift, not a reward for performance, but a promise that arises simply because you are mine. Gently place your fears in my hands, even if you are not sure you understand how. Surrender is not weakness. It is a gateway to my strength. So often you look ahead, afraid of what might break or who might leave, or when a false step could cost you the future you quietly crave. Let me show you a new way of anticipating what comes next. There is no threat on the horizon when I stretch before you. Only an invitation. I steady your trembling with the warmth of my commitment. When you look at the ceiling in darkness and wonder if I have missed your quieter prayers, hear me now. I am present in every place you think is too small for my attention. I am the one who sits with you when the world is loud, but your hopes feel faint. Notice, dear one, how ordinary light can fill the room, even on a stormy day. That glow is not accidental. It is the signature of my faithfulness, woven through time and circumstance. Let that brightness settle over your mind, softening the sharp edges of worry and doubt. Take one slow inhale. Let your shoulders drop, and as you breathe out, imagine my peace descending over you. You are allowed this moment. You are safe in my nearness. There is grace for confusion and compassion for your fear. There are mornings when you do not know how to speak gratitude, when words feel thin and your soul is tired. In those moments, let me remind you, gratitude is sometimes a glance at the window, or the slowing of your own heartbeat, or a simple whispered thank you that feels too small. I see every attempt. I draw near to every shy act of trust. When you cannot find motivation, I lend you mine. I am the source of every fresh beginning, and I hold open the door to new mercies with joy. Some days you are convinced you carry more questions than answers. Let that not trouble your heart. My invitation is to bring every confusion and every tangled knot into the open where my light dissolves shame and replaces it with assurance. You are not behind. You are not too late, and you are not being overlooked. The hand of my purpose is on your life, not as an afterthought, but as a living promise renewed each hour. Accept that your journey will take unforeseen turns and that grace is waiting for you at every bend. You might feel the ache of things that haven't changed yet, or notice a pattern that seems impossible to break. Let these not define your story. I am deeply invested in the process, and not simply the outcome. Even as you stumble, your persistence is evidence that hope has roots in your soul. When you find yourself repeating an old worry or replaying a disappointing scene, bring it to me. I am not impatient with your progress. My voice leads with encouragement, not condemnation. Tonight, as you lie down, let the weight of my hand settle on you like a gentle blanket, assuring you that you do not have to hold everything together. Watch how the quiet gathers, how the air softens, how the night wraps you with permission to rest. My protection does not waver with your emotions. My plans for you are not fragile, resting on your ability to keep up. Even when things appear delayed, I am developing strength within you, crafting patience that will serve you well beyond this present frustration. Lean in and notice this. Every breath you take is evidence that I am supplying what you need, moment by moment. When doubts creep in, let them pass through gently like clouds across the light. Don't grant lies a resting place in your mind. Instead, remember that my assurance remains steadfast, even while your confidence flickers. You are being shaped for more than survival. You are being prepared to reflect my love in ways you cannot yet imagine. There will be moments when everything around you urges you to choose worry, to let fear drive the course of your day. In those moments, recall my promise. Nothing can separate you from my affection or nullify the destiny I have declared for you. I am molding your character, refining your vision, and strengthening your resolve. Even the faintest willingness to trust me is answered by my overflowing faithfulness. You never walk these paths alone. As you settle your thoughts, let gratitude sneak in quietly and shift the weight of your doubts. Notice how your surroundings respond, a breeze entering through the window, the gentle hum of life continuing, your own heart slowing as you lean into the reality of my nearness. I am teaching you to see beauty not only in sudden breakthroughs, but in the stable glow of my presence each day. Stay close, child. There is more unfolding for you. You feel the subtle ache of wounds that are slow to close, pain that resists explanation and lingers behind your daily movements. I am present where you shrink from your own brokenness, not with judgment, but with healing in my voice. As you sit with the silence after your questions, I draw nearer still, determined to fill those spaces with my unshakable presence. Some days the ache in your chest makes it hard to draw a deep breath, as if hope itself has taken flight. But I am gently teaching your lungs how to receive peace again, one breath at a time. As you inhale and exhale now, notice my peace beginning to settle, a warmth spreading across your heart, breaking past the coldness that loss has left behind. You are not abandoned to your grief. Your sorrows have not gone unnoticed. I gather every tear, transforming them in ways you cannot yet comprehend. Pause for a moment and rest your hand on your heart. Do you feel that? My life is stirring within you a quiet reassurance in the face of every fear. The memories that threaten to overwhelm you are not stronger than my promise to redeem what was lost. Even if your faith trembles, even if you whisper your questions into darkness, my light is moving toward you now, patiently illuminating the path forward. There is more for you than mere survival. There is a wholeness that only I can create, and it is already unfolding under the surface. You have begun to sense the pull toward a new season, haven't you? That sense of anticipation wrapped in uncertainty. This is me, awakening belief where it once lay dormant. You wonder if the cycles of disappointment will ever break. The voice of past failure shouts so loudly in moments of exhaustion. I know every place you felt inadequate, every comparison that steals your joy, every setback that convinced you blessing is for others, but not for you. But my child, the enemy's fiercest weapon against you has always been lies about who you are and whose you are. That is why today I am speaking truth so strong it breaks chains. Listen, you are not too far gone, not too broken, not too late. My plans are not limited by your setbacks. I am rewriting your story even now. Feel the rising courage in your spirit as I declare this over you. What you thought disqualified you is becoming the very ground where transformation springs forth. Let me interrupt that rushing current of anxiety. Breathe. Notice the steadiness of my hand upon your life, anchoring you in the present. You were never designed to carry shame on your shoulders. You do not have to keep bracing for disappointment. Instead, allow yourself to receive the compassion I am offering. You have permission to rest, to unclench the fists of your soul, and trust that I am holding what you cannot. You might be trying to predict every outcome, to control what feels threatening, but control was never your protector. I am. Lay down the illusion of certainty and take my hand instead, letting go of burden and choosing the risk of trust. If you let my voice interrupt your harshest inner critic, something will begin to shift. That default script of unworthiness, the one you replay during sleepless nights, carries no authority here. Rebellion against such lies starts small. It is choosing to whisper, "I am chosen." When everything internal resists, speak it softly now. Let it echo through the caverns of your mind, disrupting every accusation that has camped there too long. The more you say it, the more it shapes reality, until truth roots itself deeper than doubt ever burrowed. Those places where you felt exposed or humiliated, where you stopped dreaming because it hurt too much to hope. These are the fields I cultivate for the sweetest growth. For a moment, close your eyes and imagine my arms surrounding you. There's a shield around your soul that nothing can penetrate unless you open the door from within. My love is your safety, not your performance, not your perfection, not your ability to impress or please others. I see what no one else has seen, the depth of every longing, the beauty that survived the storm, the small victories you never celebrated because you were too tired trying not to fail again. I delight in you. You may not understand how I could love all your fragments, but I see the masterpiece underneath the rubble, and I am clearing away what tried to bury you. Still, you wonder if surrender might cost you everything you have carefully held together. I hear the voice that says, "If I let go, will I fall?" Here is my answer. In releasing control, you discover you are cradled in hands that never slip. The weight you carry is not proof of strength. It is proof that you trust me with what you value most. If you would let me, I would carry anxieties you never meant to own. Give them now, just as you are right now. No striving, no earning. Release them. As you do, feel how your pulse slows, how your thoughts quiet, how your shoulders lighten. This freedom is not imaginary, it is the evidence of my proximity. Today, something is shifting. Can you sense it? An almost imperceptible change in the atmosphere around you. Type yes if you are ready for the blessings that you are about to receive. And if you believe in Christianity, kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. This is not wishful thinking or empty comfort. My spirit is moving, hovering over the chaos, pulling order from confusion as I did at the world's beginning. You are not exempt from this renewal. Even things that have been stuck for years are starting to move. In the next few days, you will encounter a moment, perhaps during an ordinary task, when a sudden gentle peace comes over you. You will know it is me, because anxiety will not be able to hold its ground. Receive it. Let this be a marker in your memory. I am still the God of surprises. You have heard promises before that seem to fade away, and you are afraid to hope again. It is not wrong to feel the sting of disappointment, not foolish to long for fulfillment. I honor your honesty, but I am calling you out of resignation and into expectation. You were made for miracles, for encounters that disrupt despair. Don't be alarmed if your heart begins to hope again, even if fear tries to silence it. This is a holy tension where breakthrough is forged, where faith stretches toward the light. Sometimes you glance at others and wonder what it would be like to feel truly known, utterly loved without fear of rejection. I am that safe place. You belong not because you perform, but because I have claimed you as my own. Every day I speak over you, you are mine. Marked, sealed, beloved. Your past cannot revoke your belonging. What you interpret as weakness is exactly where my strength is shining brightest. Stop running from what makes you human. I became human to pursue your heart. Right now, place your hand over your chest and breathe deeply. Invite my presence into the corners of yourself you thought were beyond redemption. Whisper if you can, I am not alone. You will feel a subtle shift, a loosening, a warmth, a sense of nearness that didn't come from you. That is me, delighting to dwell with you, restoring your confidence in my goodness. There is so much more I want to reveal to you about the story I am writing, the transformation underway, even as you wonder if it is possible. Beyond the horizon of your understanding, new beginnings are forming. You may not yet see the pathway, but you can sense the momentum returning. This is the prelude to breakthrough, the inhalation before the song. Let your anticipation rise. What I prepare next will astonish you. Your heart is about to recognize beauty where you once saw only barrenness, and your story will become the testimony that heals others. The most stunning unveilings often start in seasons of quiet surrender. There is much more to unfold. There are places deep within you where pain still echoes, chambers where old memories linger like shadows at dusk. I see each bruise carried quietly beneath your strength, those moments you revisit, wondering if healing will ever reach that far inside. My beloved, nothing is hidden from me. Not the nights filled with questions, not the mornings where hope feels thin as mist. I come now, pressing even closer, touching the ache you thought would never soften. With every breath you take, let my nearness fill what has felt empty so long. You don't need to hide these wounded places. I have never turned my eyes away from your silent suffering, that longing for release, that cry to be truly seen and known. These are as precious to me as your praise. I gather your tears, holding each one with the hands that shaped your very soul. There is no brokenness beyond the reach of my restoring power, no scar that cannot be transformed beneath the weight of my love. Breathe in, daughter's son. Let your lungs fill with peace that is not contingent on circumstance. Can you feel that gentle warmth stirring now? That isn't imagination. That is my spirit moving, opening your heart to what you feared was forever lost. If you place your hand over your heart, notice how it beats with renewed hope. Each pulse is a testimony of my commitment to your story. You are not destined to repeat cycles of despair. I am rewriting your narrative, line by line. Every setback, every betrayal, every season of loneliness, I gather them now, not as proof of defeat, but as seeds for miraculous growth. When you say you are unworthy, I answer with assurance. You are chosen, marked by mercy, radiant in my sight. What you see as ruined, I call raw material for beauty beyond your imagining. There is something I want to show you about the way fear has shaped your choices. So often you have gripped defenses tightly, bracing for loss or disappointment. Yet I invite you to loosen your hold, releasing what you have clung to out of self-protection, for it is only with open hands that you will receive what I have prepared, a goodness so much greater than the small safety of old habits. Right now you may sense a subtle trembling, a hesitancy to trust again. That is not weakness, beloved. It is the sacred moment before courage awakens. Let your guard drop for just a breath and notice the peace that drifts in, unexpected and undeserved. Do you wonder why I sometimes allow hardship? Why comfort escapes you in the valleys? My child, I am not indifferent to your pain. Every trial is woven with the potential for transformation, pressure turning coal to diamond, fire refining gold. You cannot yet see the radiance being born from these trials, but soon you will marvel at the resilience I am building within you. Anxiety whispers that change is impossible, that your efforts are wasted. My answer is final. I waste nothing. Even seasons you label as failures are being redeemed. Each regret surrendered becomes a door for my presence to enter. Be honest with what hurts. You don't need to sanitize your prayers. Bring me your confusion, your longing, your anger. This is intimacy, child, not shame. You may be feeling a heaviness at this moment, perhaps tightness in your chest or a prickling of tears behind your eyes. Pause. Let yourself feel it without needing to name or fix it right now. This is the threshold. My goodness is nearer than you think. You are safe to let the weight fall, to unclench the fists of your heart. Every breath is an invitation. Every heartbeat reminds you that hope is more stubborn than despair. As you surrender, know that I am not standing at a distance. I am with you, kneeling beside your pain, sharing every heartbeat. Together, we will move through this sorrow into a brighter dawn. Somewhere beneath the surface, old lies might try to resurface. Lies that say you are too far gone, too flawed to be worthy of love. Pause before those accusations and hear me. That is not my voice. The enemy spoke those words in your vulnerable moments, hoping to steal the truth I planted. My declaration is different. You are not a sum of your failures or missteps. You are defined by my delight, sealed by my sacrifice, made new every moment you turn to me. Say it aloud right now. I am loved. I am chosen. I am not who I was. Anchor yourself in this truth until your soul learns to recognize my song in every season. There are thousands walking the same path beside you, carrying burdens, watching for dawn. The movement I am birthing is not just in you. It is swelling across hearts everywhere, silent but unstoppable. If you feel alone in your fight, remember you are joined to a host held together by my spirit. Each of you is a vital note in the symphony of hope I am conducting. When you falter, others stand for you. When you rejoice, it ripples through this circle of the beloved. The story I am writing is bigger than your pain, more glorious than your defeat ever threatened to be. I am sending a sign to you, a gentle reassurance you will recognize today as you walk in ordinary tasks. A warmth of calm will settle over you in the least expected moment. It will feel as though time slows, allowing you to catch your breath and remember you are not abandoned. When this happens, you will know I am speaking, reinforcing the truth whispered now. This is not coincidence. It is evidence that heaven bends toward your weakness, that my care is as personal as your next heartbeat. Little one, I urge you, don't rush past this moment. Let yourself linger in my presence. Close your eyes, rest your hands in your lap, and simply breathe. There is nothing more you must perform to earn my embrace. I am not measuring your faith by your perfection. Instead, I am responding to your willingness to be found. Deepen your inhale. Exhale the anxiety. Release the need to carry it all. Let surrender become sacred. In this act, strength is born anew. You are being prepared for more than survival, Emerging from ashes, you are learning not just to endure, but to thrive with the dignity I restored. Doors you thought rusted shut are beginning to respond, not merely with opportunity, but with an invitation to intimacy. Your circumstances may take time to reflect this shift, but let the first breakthrough be internal, peace taking territory where chaos once reigned. You are not at the end, nor have you missed your chance. I am orchestrating a future only faith can glimpse now. There is more yet for you to experience, depths of healing, rivers of joy you have never tasted, authority over fear you have not dared imagine. Stay close, beloved, for I am not finished. The next revelation waits, a truth that will move you forward into light never known before. There is something transformative that happens when you acknowledge the smallest gifts I give. A bit of light sneaking through your curtains, the hush before your household stirs, the steady beat in your chest that testifies you are alive and chosen in this moment. As you notice these things, gratitude no longer feels forced. It flows like living water from the places I have tended quietly inside you. Even now, my love finds the cracks in your defenses and warms the places you thought were too weary to bloom again. Let the sight of your hands at rest remind you that I hold every outcome, and you do not need to grasp so tightly to prove your worth. Beloved, you are learning to surrender outcomes you cannot control. And in this release, a peace grows that confounds understanding. It is not a denial of hardship or disappointment. Rather, it is an anchoring in my steady promise to remain with you through every uncertainty. Trust that your story does not depend on others' opinions or the pace at which the world moves. The shaping of your destiny is not at the mercy of delays, misunderstandings, or closed doors. My presence is your assurance. My vision for you is not cut short by detours. Where doubts press into your mind, questions like, what if I never get it right? Or what if I miss what you are doing? Take a gentle breath and remember that I have surrounded you with wisdom and guidance. Even when you feel lost, lean into my voice that whispers, you are still mine. I see the tides of insecurity, the woundings from yesterday, the longing to outrun regret. I am not counting your missteps. I am lifting you into a wider place where mercy becomes the foundation, not judgment. This is the season to notice my hand in the ordinary, to practice gratitude by simply sitting with me in the present moment. Let your feet find the coolness of the floor. Notice the softness of your breath and realize I inhabit the nearness of these simple things. When you feel rushed or scattered, imagine my hand settling on your shoulder with infinite gentleness, grounding you in a reality that is not defined by fear. I desire for you a life that is spacious inside, not compressed by anxiety or comparison, but open and receptive to goodness waiting to unfold. If you ever wonder whether I have truly prepared a place for you, not just in eternity, but in the unfolding of your daily life, listen for the quiet confirmations I send, the familiar laughter of your loved ones, the way rest arrives when you let go of striving, the sudden sense of clarity in a moment you expected confusion. These are the small doors I open, the signposts blessing your hope, the reminders that I do not abandon those who seek me from the heart. Even in disappointment and heartbreak, I am present, restoring what felt forever lost. Let go of striving to measure up to a perfection I never required. I see you, beloved, as you really are, someone willing to step forward, weak and unsure, yet still trusting me for every next breath. Release the pressure to have all the answers or to anticipate every outcome. There is power in admitting, I don't know, but I am not alone. As you pray or rest in the stillness, recall that I honor honest surrender more than polished words or impressive deeds. Lay your burdens at my feet, not as a reluctant last resort, but as an act of freedom. When worry about your family, your health, or your future creeps in, imagine placing each concern in my capable hands. Draw comfort from knowing that I care for what matters to you, even those things you haven't voiced. Let your trust become visible, not just in great leaps, but in small moments of choosing faith over fear, turning toward me instead of rehearsing old anxieties. In the moments when doubts gather, do not let shame convince you that your faith is too small or too fragile. I cherish your steps, however hesitant, and my strength is perfected in the places you admit weakness. If the day feels heavy, sit with me in the hush and let your sigh be your prayer. I see each tear, each silent plea, each whispered longing, and I hold them all with reverent care. No need to hide. You are safe within my embrace, known in your entirety. Let your mornings begin with a simple acknowledgement of my nearness, as the light softens and spills into your day. Offer me the first word or the first quiet smile. These humble beginnings prepare your heart to recognize me throughout the hours ahead, so my voice is not drowned out by noise or busyness. The gentle patterns of gratitude and surrender, repeated in small ways, become your shield against discouragement. I am at work when you rise and when you lie down, tirelessly faithful, even when you struggle to believe. Type yes if you are ready for the blessings that you are about to receive. And if you believe in Christianity, kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. If discouragement tries to wedge itself between us, remember that what feels stalled or unfinished in your life is not evidence of neglect. I am nurturing seeds in hidden places. My timing is deliberate and fueled by love. Your story unfolds in harmony with my wisdom, not with the world's urgency or its noisy schedules. I protect what I begin, and I do not relent until my goodness has found you in places you thought were beyond hope. Some days you will sense my presence like warmth on your skin. Other days it may feel like a silent invitation to trust rather than feel. Both are real. Both are evidence of my constancy. Whether you weep or laugh, perform well or flounder, you do not shake my affection or my plans for your life. I am not easily discouraged, and I am never dissuaded by your weakness. Allow each breath to anchor you in this truth. I am with you, for you, and your well-being matters deeply to me. The world's standards of success may shift or disappoint, but my vision for you remains unchanged. Rooted in love that sees and honors the full reality of who you are. Let today be marked by receptivity and hope. The expectation that I am already preparing what you will need, moment by moment, step by step, in my unfailing presence. Give me the space to help you breathe in my peace when your mind spins with questions and uncertainties. I see how you wake with the feeling that you must solve everything alone, that there isn't enough time or strength to cover every need. I want you to sense my presence right here as the gentle hush moving through the room, as the warmth resting on your skin, as the quiet sign that you are not carrying this day by yourself. You may think hope is for stronger hearts, but I have already placed it within you. A steady flame that is not threatened by storms or setbacks. Pay attention to the feeling of the ground beneath your feet. Let it remind you that I have grounded you in a story that has not finished unfolding. As you consider what lies ahead, be reminded, You do not make your way through this world as an orphan, abandoned to fend for yourself. I have called you mine. When fear whispers that you are unprepared, I invite you to come back to that truth, letting it settle behind your eyes and give brightness to your gaze. I walk ahead and beside you, shaping what is unseen, drawing possibilities from what looks impossible. If tension rises in your chest, pause to notice your breath. Let that simple act of noticing become a small act of surrender, letting me hold what you can't. My care for you is not theoretical. It is the quiet alignment of all things needed for your life and calling. Notice the gift of this ordinary moment. The sunlight diffusing across the wall is an invitation to receive my new mercies. In the hush of a familiar space at the edge of your bed, with your hands pressed gently together, invite me into the scenes you don't know how to fix or redeem. You may feel you lack the answers, but I did not call you to be the answer for everything. Instead, release what is unfinished, uncertain, uncomfortable. Let that act become an offering, a fresh trust that I can shape what you entrust to me. Even now, I tend to what you have almost forgotten to hope for. I lean near when you think I am far off. The doubts that parade in your mind about timing and outcomes are not barriers to me. What you see as delays or closed doors, I see as invitations to look up, to meet my steady eyes and draw relief from my unwavering hand. It is okay to bring me your weariness, even when you feel you should be stronger or more grateful. My delight is not reserved only for your victories. My delight is your willingness to try again, to trust me as you stand in the gentle light of another day. Where disappointment has etched itself in your heart, my child, let me bring restoration. There is no wound in you that is unfamiliar to me. You do not need to ignore pain or pretend it doesn't affect you. Rather, be honest in my company. Feel the air moving through your lungs, bringing fresh supply. Each breath is evidence that I am still sustaining you, offering presence over perfection, kindness over judgment. I want you to belong to hope more than you belong to regret. I am not tallying mistakes. I am celebrating every new choice to begin again. Beloved, I have not forgotten the dreams I placed inside you, even the small ones, the quiet wishes you think too insignificant to speak aloud. What you see as insignificant is music to me. In every longing for deeper connection, for protection over those you love, for meaning in your efforts, I am moving. My vision for your life is not measured by what others expect, but by the depth of your yes to me, one gentle step at a time. When your prayers stammer and words falter, I hold your silence as tenderly as a song. Let my patience plant new courage in your soul. There is no shame in needing reminders, in leaning again on my strength as hours pass and plans shift. In this journey, you are never repeating old cycles with no way through. Each moment you open your heart, you are building memory with me, and I am marking your progress, even when it is hidden from view. If comparison tries to cloud your mind, let my pleasure at your unique path quiet those voices. My presence is not given in rations. It is a river, steady and unhurried, always reaching you. Bring your family and your relationships into our conversation. The weight you feel for them is precious in my sight. Where peace has frayed, where words have wounded, where you worry you have not done enough, rest your concerns in the shelter of my hands. I am at work in hearts and histories you cannot see, turning even brokenness into fertile ground for a new beginning. My protection does not mean absence of difficulty, but a steady anchor through the winds that shift and howl. When you wonder if I notice small acts of kindness or moments of restraint, know that I am present in them all, drawing out purpose from your everyday faithfulness. Dear one, before you measure this day by tasks completed or burdens still unlifted, receive the assurance that you are loved without performance. I am singing over you, not out of obligation but delight. You are not a disappointment, nor are you lost in a sea of faces. If anxiety threatens to fasten itself to your heart, speak my name, even if it is only in a whisper. Let my peace expand inside you, as quiet as dawn, steady as the ground that greets your steps. I am here to lead you in the small and the great, in the confusion and the clarity, forming something beautiful even from what seems unfinished. Keep your spirit open, for there is more comfort to come. You have come so far, even when you didn't notice the miles gathering behind you. I have seen the quiet victories when no one was watching, the midnight wrestlings where your soul pressed through shadows, begging for assurance that this journey means something. Take a breath. Let the air flood your lungs and steady your trembling. You are not retracing steps in vain. Nothing endured in my presence is wasted. Each bruise and each scar you carry holds a story I am redeeming. You are standing at a threshold, one you once believed forever closed. Place your hand upon your heart and listen. Do you hear it? The rhythm that keeps time with my love. Each beat a reminder that I am not finished with you. Right now, uncertainty may whisper that you haven't really changed, that old failures will reclaim you when the newness wears off. That is a lie. My voice cuts through the fog. Open your eyes to who you have become in these refining fires. You are stronger, braver, softened by mercy, yet bold in hope. There is a shift in the air, subtle but undeniable. The atmosphere around you carries the scent of promise, the charged expectancy of breakthrough about to crest the horizon. Have you noticed the small things aligning? The coincidences that keep pointing you back to this place of surrender? That is me, orchestrating what you cannot yet name. My beloved, you are not wandering aimless in a wilderness. You are being led to living waters, to a land where the pain of lack gives way to fullness. Yes, I know the ache that lingers, the fear that whispers, "What if I am forgotten in the crowd of the faithful?" Hear me. You are seen, singled out, marked for goodness. My nearness is not rationed according to your achievements or withheld in your doubts. I do not measure my love with your performance. Let that truth anchor you when self-condemnation tries to chain your steps. You are not who you were, and every stumble since you began has been a stone in your new foundation. Lift your head. Even as heaviness tries to press you down, refuse to bow before the idols of regret and shame. I am the lifter of your head, the restorer of dreams you buried beneath the rubble of disappointment. Breathe deeply now. Feel the steadiness rising within. Your story echoes in more hearts than you know. Many around you wear hidden wounds that your journey uniquely positions you to heal. Even now, words will come to your lips that carry my peace into fractured places. You are anointed to speak life where resignation has taken root. Stop doubting the impact of your obedience. When you move with me, eternity bends to listen. Within days, someone will cross your path who will need exactly the comfort I have poured into you. You may not recognize the moment until it unfolds, but when it does, you will sense my confirmation. My presence will settle on you like a mantle of gentle fire. My dear one, you have entertained thoughts of unworthiness for too long. The enemy has twisted past wounds into a false identity, branding you with labels that were never yours. Let me tear them away. You are no longer defined by what you did not receive, nor by the voices that confuse discipline with rejection. My discipline is always for restoration and flourishing, never for punishment without purpose. I have seen the silent vows made in pain, promises to never trust, never expose weakness, never hope too much. Now in this moment, I invite you to lay down every vow that served as armor, but became a prison instead. Let the rivers of my mercy wash them away. You are safe to hope again. Type yes if you are ready for the blessings that you are about to receive. And if you believe in Christianity, kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. You are guarded on all sides by my goodness. Place your hand on your chest. Speak this aloud. I am chosen. I am shielded. I am loved without condition. As you say the words, notice how something loosens within you, how the chains begin to fall. There will be moments even now when weariness will seek to convince you that none of it is real, that change is impossible, that your breakthroughs were wishful thinking. In such moments, recall how I interrupted your patterns, how I called your name when you were ready to settle for less, how I brought you here against every odd and every discouraging voice. I have set you apart for transformation, and what I begin, I finish. There is no half work in my kingdom. The path may narrow and the way may darken, but my light never flickers. You are surrounded. You are sustained. Breathe. Feel the pulse of your own aliveness. This too is proof of my promise. You will not be overtaken. The trembling you feel is growth, not fear. You are expansive, enlarging in places even you have yet to see. I hear your heart's silent questions. What if I fail again? What if the progress unravels? Let that fear rise to the surface, because I want you to know what powerlessness really is. Powerlessness is clinging to old methods and old mindsets, refusing the newness I offer each sunrise. Authority is releasing the grip on outcomes, allowing me to shape the details. So give me your expectations. Exchange them for expectancy. Do not measure results by timelines. Watch instead for the subtle shifts, the ease that visits your conversations, the quickening of hope where numbness once sat, the laughter returning to your mornings. These are signs that you are living from your healed identity and not your history. Look around you. There is a stirring, not just in you, but across a multitude awakening from old dreams into new vision. You are not alone in this metamorphosis. Many have walked through fire and emerged unburned, noticing how the very flames became light for others who feared the dark. This is your inheritance, to be one who loves boldly because you have been held, to be one who risks vulnerability because your value is no longer up for debate. My spirit within you is relentless. I am not moving you backward, nor am I allowing you to remain in shallow waters. Step forward even if your knees wobble. My strength is best displayed in the ones who know their need, who boast in weakness because they have tasted my sufficiency. Pause. Breathe again. Do you notice the tingling at the edge of your awareness? That is me, a brush of assurance, a subtle embrace. You are not imagining it. This is realer than the doubts that come and go. Soon, when you least expect it, a moment will arrive where confidence wells up without explanation. You will recognize it as the bloom of seeds planted long ago, prayers whispered timidly, tears sown in private. The harvest is ripening. I am about to surprise you with my nearness, not as an abstract comfort, but as tangible clarity in your daily steps. You will know it is me because the peace will not fit the situation, because despair will no longer stick to your skin. Hold steady. I am drawing you deeper until your inner world is unshakable. Regardless of outer change, there is still more. I am so mindful of every silent worry you haven't spoken, every longing you carry beneath the words you share with others. I do not turn away from your unasked questions, the ache for restoration, the yearning for harmony, the hope for someone you love to awaken to joy once more. In the gentle hush before the morning rush, I am the presence that steadies your thoughts, clearing away the clamor that sometimes tries to overtake you. My gaze is constant, like the sun's warmth on your skin before you even step outdoors, reminding you that my care begins before your plans do. Some days anxieties try to masquerade as wisdom, whispering warnings, tightening your shoulders, urging relentless rehearsals of every outcome. But I invite you to exchange that tension moment by moment for the awareness of my hands steadying you beneath the surface. When you are tempted to rehearse what-if fears or to fixate on what seems broken, bring your attention softly back to the simple reality of my presence by your side. Whether you feel it or not, I create new possibilities beyond what you are able to imagine. I am planting seeds of peace where anxiety once flourished, watering them slowly, teaching you to recognize the quiet signs of change. My timing is deliberate and faithful, even in dark seasons where you have seen little progress. When those you love still struggle, when old patterns return, and when prayers seem unanswered, do not assume I am distant or slow to respond. Your faithfulness in bringing these people and situations to me again and again is powerful, and I store each tear, each whispered plea. I am at work in many ways you can't yet see, softening hearts, unfolding circumstances, preparing the ground for new beginnings. Instead of bracing yourself for disappointment, open your expectations to the reality that I always move in love, in wisdom, in ways that shape you and those around you for goodness. Linger in that trust, like pausing at an open window, and allow fresh air to fill your thoughts with hope that stretches beyond what you are able to orchestrate. You are not called to strain for control or carry the full burden of setting things right. All I ask is that you entrust me with the seeds you plant, the prayers you sow, and the small acts of kindness you choose each day. When your mind is tired and your spirit is weary, return to the simple gesture of lifting your gaze, drawing one slow breath, and recalling that your life is held within mine. Let every sunrise remind you that I make all things new, and that each day is another invitation to surrender the old for the embrace of the new. You are marked by my love. The identity I speak over you cannot be taken or dimmed, no matter which voices try to persuade you otherwise. Watch for the small signs of encouragement that I scatter throughout your day. Notice the softness in a friend's words, the comfort of a familiar voice, the way the world grows quiet in the evening as you prepare for rest. These are not accidents, but intentional gifts to sustain you when you need courage to keep believing. Your journey is sacred to me, and I am as close in the ordinary routines as I am in moments of revelation. Even the mundane carries opportunities for my glory to break in, for my spirit to remind you who you are, chosen, seen, beloved beyond measure. When you feel unsettled or unsure, remember that nothing catches me off guard, and nothing is too small for my compassion to transform. Let me gently guide your attention to the good that still exists, even when storms press around you. Focus on the gift of today, Let your feet touch the floor and notice that you are standing still, carried, still being shaped for a purpose unfolding, even when you can't yet see its fullness. I have not forgotten the dreams I gave you. My hand remains steady, even when your determination falters. Hold on to the truth that I am the one who goes ahead of you, the one who shields you from harm, and the one who walks with you into every unknown place. As evening approaches and your body begins to slow, picture my arms drawing you close like a gentle embrace. Rest in the security of knowing that your worries are not the sum of your story. I am writing new chapters even tonight. Whisper whatever still feels unfinished to me. Release it into my capable hands and let the weight fall from your shoulders. All I require is your willingness to trust, to return again no matter how many times you feel weak. Let these moments of surrender become your strength. For every breath where you draw near to me is met by my faithfulness. If you sense doubt rising, if you wonder whether you are really known, pause at the threshold of those thoughts and recall the steady reassurance of my gaze. Your identity is anchored in what I declare, not what you fear. Every question is safe with me. I welcome your uncertainty because I know how the story leads to redemption. I am not threatened by your process or your pain. I delight to walk with you through every hesitation until you are ready to step forward once more. Allow me to shape your hopes, soften your anxieties, and infuse your vision with expectancy. You are my beloved, chosen not for your performance, but for your willingness to trust, to open your hands when you are tempted to close them, to let me carry what you cannot. I have treasures of comfort, insight, and unity in store, waiting to be unwrapped as you continue on this path. Stay near. There is so much more to reveal, my child. Let your heart inhale the reality of this moment, for nothing about where you stand is random. Every longing, every ache you have carried until now has been the ground in which I have grown new life. Yes, beloved child, I am breathing upon the embers you thought were already cold. You may feel uncertainty gathering at the door of your hope, whispering that nothing will ever change. But I am the one who burns through impossibility. Even now, as you listen, there is a shifting, imperceptible but irreversible. You are not simply being comforted in your old wounds. You are being transformed. Even if you do not yet recognize the shape of the miracle in motion, my presence settles upon you like the hush before dawn. Subtle, yet undeniable. That gentle pressure around your shoulders is not your imagination. It is the nearness of my love. Observe how your breath moves slower, how your heartbeat steadies, how the tension in your brow begins to melt. In this sacred pause, I reach across the chasms of yesterday and gather every regret, every whispered self-accusation. Nothing you have endured was wasted. I have yielded beauty from each place you were broken, forming in you a depth of compassion and courage that cannot be shaken by the storms of this world. Rest in that, and see how the shape of your life is evidence that my hand has never left you. I know there are places in your heart that still feel sore, shadows from memories you wish you could erase. Do not hide them from me. Let the light pour into the corners you have kept guarded, for fear that even I might turn away. I am not repelled by your weakness. On the contrary, it is your honesty that draws me nearer. When you place your trembling hopes and shattered dreams into my hands, I do not shame you. I call you brave. My strength shines most brightly through the scars you once tried to conceal, radiating hope for others who have not yet believed their pain could be redeemed. Listen closely. There is a word I have hidden in the still center of your being. A secret affirmation that names the truth of who you are. You are chosen, marked, dearly cherished. Not because of what you have done or failed to do, but because I saw you long before you knew my name. My love is not a reward for your performance, nor is my favor something you could lose by stumbling. When you falter, I am the steady arm at your side. When you feel forsaken, I am closer than your very breath. Even now, as you read these words, you are enveloped in mercy that erases accusation and lifts you out of shame. You might wonder if true change is really possible. Some days the old habits and echoes seem too stubborn to move, and the shadows of former failures try to convince you that the future will look just like the past. I tell you now, cycles are breaking. The power of my spirit within you is greater than the voices that told you to settle for less. There will be moments in the coming days, a flash of clarity as you wake, a sudden peace while you work, the quiet urge to reach out to someone in love, where you will notice newness settling in your soul. These are not coincidences. You will know it is me, for the freedom will feel both unfamiliar and utterly right. Release your grip on what you cannot control. Lay down expectations that have weighed you down and say aloud, even quietly, I trust you. As you do, sense my delight. Feel how surrendered hearts attract waves of grace. I am not asking for perfection, only for your willingness to yield to my love. To let go of defenses shaped by disappointment. Every time you choose vulnerability over cynicism, you are sculpting a future that outshines your fears. With each step, halting though it may seem, you are crossing from survival into abundant life. Pause and put your hand upon your heart if you are able. Feel the steady rhythm beneath your fingers. That is evidence of my faithfulness. With every pulse, I whisper your worth. I call forth the strength you forgot you had, and commission you to carry healing into weary places. The world does not need another flawless story. It needs the living testimony of a heart restored. As you walk out what I have worked within, you become a lighthouse. Radiant not despite your history, but because of the resurrection happening right where you once despaired. Each act of obedience, each moment you choose love over fear, creates ripples that touch lives far beyond your sight. You have not been prepared just for comfort, but for influence. I am sending you forth as a wellspring for the thirsty, a voice of encouragement to the silent sufferers around you. Your story is a key that unlocks hope for others. Even now, someone is watching, longing for evidence that transformation is possible. Be bold. Speak the truth I have written on your life. Share freely what you have received. The moments of trembling faith you offer today will echo as invitations to freedom for generations. Your season ahead is nothing like what you left behind. The best is unfolding now, not because the struggle disappears, but because you are walking it out wrapped in unbreakable companionship. The world may tremble, but you do not. Days of laughter will return. Tears will give way to dancing, and the barren places in your life will become oases. Watch for the unexpected affirmations, a message from a friend, a sudden burst of courage, a peaceful sleep that has evaded you for too long. These are signposts of my presence. You will know it is me, for the peace will settle deeper than anxiety, and the surge of hope will eclipse what you thought was possible. You are not who you were. There is nothing ordinary about the quiet revolution happening within you. Trust the process, treasure the small victories, and never despise the slow progression of healing. The shift is real. There will come moments when doubt arises. Return to this truth. I have called you by name, planted you in hope, and drenched your life in destiny. No shadow can overpower my light. No wound is beyond my touch. Beloved, I desire you to encounter not just fleeting encouragement, but ongoing communion. Every day, every hour, I invite you to listen again, to lean into my whisper, to let my kindness refashion your identity. My pursuit is relentless. My affection for you has no end. There is nothing you can do to unravel what I have already finished. Step into this unshakable reality. You are held. You are honored. You are home in me. Amen. If this word stirred something deep within you, stay connected to these daily reminders of my faithfulness. Press that button now, not for content, but for communion. I will meet you here tomorrow, speaking life again into the places that need it most. Amen.